So the poll that's causing the most drama over here, the most friction, we're all on different pages here. Are NBA players today soft?
Okay, where did this come from?
So Draymond Green had an epic podcast appearance on Kevin Durant's podcast and said a lot of things, including players today are soft, like they want to be friends with him.
Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Let me hear it. Here's Draymond Green on Kevin Durant's podcast.
Absolutely. They nothing like that. They soft as hell. Man, I found myself this year trying to talk to some of these young dudes that won't talk. And they like trying to be a friend.
Yeah.
But that's what these young dudes do nowadays, man. I don't understand it.
First of all, Draymond Green's 31 years of age. It's not like he's 51. I guess you can say, well, some of these guys are 19 or 20 and they're soft. Okay. It feels like every decade somebody comes along and says, I remember in our time that, we were tough. Okay, basketball was played differently back then. I get it. Draymond Green could have played back in the 80s, 70s. But I don't know, is this about Draymond Green or the culture itself that everybody's soft? The way the game is played, it's not physical. You get called if you get physical. I mean, Steph Curry's responsible for this. He brought it all outside. You're not allowed to put your hand on anybody. You used to have playoff fouls. You don't have playoff fouls. Yes,
And now that I think about it, Draymond did play in an era where, players weren't friends with each other and didn't join teams together to do what is he talking about? These young dudes are soft because they all want to be friends. You guys are all friends too, dude. What are you talking about?
Right. Draymond Green's a tough guy. He recruited guys in the Hamptons during the summer.
Yeah. Because they were all, bitter enemies that the Hamptons Five just couldn't get. What?
Nothing's more street than the Hamptons.
Kevin, would you please play for our team, please? Please. Text me back. Yes, McLevin.
I think it's because there's even less loyalty to your team than ever before. There's no rivals. These guys are singular brands. They have nothing. They could care less what their jersey says.
They could care less or couldn't care less.
Right. Like LaMelo Ball had 5 billion followers before he got in the NBA. He doesn't care if he's a Hornet. He could be in any city whatsoever. He's no loyalty.
But does that make him soft or smart?
Well, soft, like it's not like the old days where you would do anything for the teams to kill each other. Old days like 1985, not 2013, but like there's no rivalries. Like Draymond saying like I try to talk trash, they don't even care.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah, that's because you're annoying. Like people don't engage annoying people.
I mean, Draymond cost the Warriors a championship by doing something stupid with his technicals.
But at least he wasn't soft.
Yeah, Paul.
But, there is no fighting anymore. Zero. What was it? Dennis Schroeder from the Lakers got in that tussle with
No, we don't want any more fighting.
There is none. Because
No. We don't want any of that.
But what I'm saying is it's gone. The NBA's done it.
No, then that's a good thing because somebody would die on the court. No, you can't do that. But you can't be physical when you play because the rules don't allow you to do that. Now, the reason why I thought it was interesting that Draymond Green was going on Kevin Durant's podcast was the response to, being able to recruit Kevin Durant. And when that happened, and did Draymond cry? Was he crying after they lost in the playoffs? And he went out to his car, and then he reached out to Kevin Durant. That sounds soft. But here is Draymond Green.
I think when we won the first championship, D West said it after we won the championship.
Yep.
My mom even asked me then, like, all of what going on? like, what? And I was just like, Mom, honestly, I don't know.
Thank you.
She like, I ain't know nothing was going on between y'all. And I'm like, Mom, honestly, I don't know what all the stuff that everybody don't know what's going on. And so I said all of that to say, I still don't know all the stuff.
Thank you for confirming.
I'm not buying it. Not buying it. There was tension behind the scenes. Draymond knew that KD was going to check out, leave. There was tension there. Do I think Draymond Green went out to his car after the Warriors lost in the playoffs and recruited Kevin Durant? Yeah, I do. Do I think he was crying when he did it? I have no idea. Yeah, McClellan.
Were you surprised that Draymond even would go on Kevin Durant's podcast?
No.
I was a little surprised. I thought they were sort of had a real falling out. I was surprised to see that headline that they're even talking.
See, I think if you're not soft, then you wouldn't go on Kevin Durant's podcast. You would basically say, no, we got a beef and I'm keeping my beef here. Right?
Let's keep some beef.
Doesn't it feel like, hey, you know what? No, we're cool. Everything's good. Okay. And maybe you are. Like Draymond is not afraid to speak his mind. We know that. He's making the rounds. He comments on anything. Just ask him a question. But they did recruit Kevin Durant. I don't think anybody's denying that. And that's a smart move, I guess. But to me, it's a soft move. If you say, oh, we can't beat him, let's go get him. Oh, we can't win another championship. Let's go get Kevin Durant, one of the top, 3 players in the game. Wow, congratulations. Yeah, Paul.
It would have been so refreshing during the podcast if Durant said, like, people think that we had a beef back then, and Draymond Green would have gone, we did.
Yeah.
I didn't like you. We didn't get along. Like, I know he wouldn't say that because it's all
no, but he
friends
should.
on a podcast.
He should say that that's the way.
Because it's a different time. It's 3 years ago.
Yes. But still, you had a beef. There was something going on there. Everybody acknowledges that it was something that was tangible. It was there. Yeah, McLevin.
Yeah, I thought we spent a year, and Steve Kerr said there was something going on. They weren't specific, but everybody said there was something going on. And now they're like, we don't know what everyone was talking about. I don't buy it either.
I wasn't crying. Were you crying? No, I wasn't crying. But you went to the Hamptons to recruit him. I mean, they probably had their plaid shorts on and their polo shirts on. Vineyard vines. Yeah. But no, that's not soft. Yes, McClellan.
Why is Kevin Durant always involved in something? It feels like no matter what he touches his toes in, it's never straightforward. There's always like,
he's passive-aggressive. I mean, he's really... Draymond is just aggressive. He's not passive-aggressive. Yes, Seton.
Don't you feel like Kevin Durant, though, when he sits back and watches everybody talk about this, like he's just like, suckers fell for it again? Like he just plays the media like he knows how to play the media. He knows how to get a reaction. He knows how to do all these things.
But what is he trying to get out of this?
I don't know.
Because I find him very, very petty. Like, he reacts to every... Draymond should be saying, KD, you're kind of soft too. You react to everything, man. Everything bothers you. Because KD lets everything bother him.
But everything bothers Draymond too. They're kind of cut from the same cloth. You can't mention his name without him responding to it, or all the drama with him and Charles Barkley. He's well aware of what people are saying.
Do you think that Michael Jordan would have gone on Patrick Ewing's podcast when they were playing each other?
Depends on how many rings Michael had at the time.
Like he would go and talk trash to Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine Magic and Larry in the mid-'80s if you had a podcast where, hey, Larry, you want to be on my podcast? And Larry'd be like, no. Yeah, Paul.
You know what's weird, though? We had Danny Ainge on a long time ago, the former Celtic, and he said the day Michael Jordan scored 63 in that playoff game, young Michael Jordan, he played golf with Jordan that afternoon.
Yeah.
And that was weird, but nobody knew it at the time. There's no press, there's no 24-hour sports, and nobody would have known it. So they did hang out a little bit, but it's not like today.
Didn't Zach Lowe from ESPN have a long, drawn-out article on Draymond Green and what happened after that playoff loss and getting in his car, sitting there in the parking lot and reaching out to Kevin Durant? Am I making that up?
No, all that happened, and Draymond said, I don't know what people were talking about.
But he quotes Draymond Green telling him about what was going on after that playoff loss, and he got in the car. All right. Yes, McClellan.
This podcast thing, talk about being soft. I heard J.J. Redick interview Colin Sexton the other day, and it was just, I love your game. You're so good. I can't wait to play against you. Like, everybody's going on each other's podcast. You're telling me NBA players aren't soft? They're just entertaining. They're like pro wrestlers. They're like the Miz now. There's no, like...
I don't think we need to bring in the Miz.